And even there, the difference of buying food for a week, for instance, and trying to make healthier decisions, we're spending literally like probably 2 times as much and getting not as much food at all. So for us, it's been a really big issue. The vendors here in Iowa, we have them. However, they're not up all year round. They can't be. It's freezing in the winter. And then they sell corn through the beginning of the summer, and you can buy zucchini and tomatoes and other stuff like that. But that's not all year round. So I kind of wanted to get people's ideas or get some information about how to do that.
In wine country, it's pretty easy to do that because everywhere around me are farmers. I can buy eggs up the street. I mean, not even the street, just like I could walk up to where this guy sells eggs. And strawberries, there's all kinds of berries. And then aside from purchasing them, there's just tons of, I mean, at the park, I can go pick raspberries and blackberries when they're in season with my little brother. He's a really great example. He and his friends are a great example of what we're talking about. They are dirt poor. They're starving artists. And they would rather buy food that costs them twice as much and go without having beer. They're mid-20s, you know. This is ridiculous to even be saying this, it seems like. But they would rather go without beer, without party stuff, and bum cigarettes from each other for a couple weeks than buy crappy food. So it's definitely possible, but I think it's something where you got to really seriously pinch. You got to tighten that belt strap a little bit if you're going to make that choice. If you are not wealthy, or, I mean, shoot, if you're not middle income at this point, if you're not middle class, trying to vote with your dollar is very difficult, and it will only be remedied, it'll only be made easier the more that those of us who are like-minded, consciously minded, progressively minded, forward-thinking, continue to band together. I mean, this is our best possible hope for trying to fix the situation. So for the time being, Jess, I think you guys having a kid that's reaching the age where he's going to start scarfing down everything that's in the cupboard and everything that's in the refrigerator.
Yeah, no joke. When you think about the fact that, you know, every time you purchase food at the grocery store and they scan it, that's literally like voting for what you want these farmers to be producing.
Yep.
I mean, it's so important to do it that way. But there is some huge obstacles when it comes to financing, and also the education, I think, is a huge thing, just huge.
Does anyone know what the different numbers either start with a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 9? One of those numbers is organic.
Oh, you mean like the what we would call a PLU, like if you buy apples and it's code 4166, you mean like that?
Right. Which one of those is organic?
Basically, I think that from what I've been reading and what my mom, Jules, said on the program is all of the food that you would buy in a grocery store, period, isn't from a sustainable farmer. They just can't get in the door to sell them that way.
But some of the stores, like the very small Molly Stone chain here, either starts with a 3, a 5, or a 9 for organic. A 4 is just regular grown. And that there is a number that's a growth hormone. One of those is organic. And so I'm trying to remember which is which. We could get that out more, not just on our show, but just generally speaking. So you only have to remember 4 or 5 numbers, and then you know what you've got, or what they say you've got.
I'm looking for what you're talking about online right now, trying to see if there's a list of these codes somewhere, or is it maybe it's store by store?
No, it's a universal thing. So all you have to know is 4 or 5 numbers. I don't know if it's actual, but it's what they claim.
Yeah, I think that's the difference, is what they can claim is organic because of certain guidelines that are followed, and then the difference between organic and something that is farmed sustainably, meaning that all of the growing and the seeds, the pest, everything is included in that. But I don't know about any codes, so it might be something we should look up.
Maybe it's just required in the state of California. I do eat non-organic on a regular basis. In fact, most of the time, because I can't afford the money for organic.
Yeah, that's exactly, I think, what we were saying, is that it's ridiculously expensive to eat well.
It's not by accident either. That's something that I would assume is understood by all of us. That was on purpose. And If it's a matter of filling yourself up, like the mom, which could be you, I guess, in Food Inc., where she's talking about she can take her husband and the kids McDonald's drive-through, hit the dollar menu, fill them all up for $10, or she can spend $10 on one organically raised chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Big deal.
The other day for lunch, because I was down to, I think, $1.75, I was able to get a double cheeseburger with vegetables, ketchup, onion, relish with the vegetables, and I ended up having 64 cents left. And that's all I had to last for a week. I managed to do it. It's quite interesting. Maybe I could write a book or an article about how to live on 64 cents a month.
I know it's all on purpose. It's just for the pocket linings of the industrial chains that put out this food, Monsanto, just by the way that our food is farmed. I wonder how much that plays into keeping us sick because of the insurance companies and healthcare. I see a big cycle there that is pretty disturbing.
In many cases, we might be adapting the wrong way, but I think the human body has adapted in a positive way to what we eat that isn't perfectly pure. There are some stresses in life that are positive and work well to keep on your toes. Sometimes blowing off steam, getting angry, is good because it generates adrenaline, which gets you to do something about something. So not all non-organic food is bad. There's a positive side to it that we need to take a look at both sides of any equation. We're living on planet Earth, the planet of duality.
I don't know if the planet is dual, but the Homo sapien inhabitants certainly seem to be trapped in that system.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, is that we are trapped in that system, and I think that's the problem because the Earth is being kind of stepped on a lot by how we grow our food, and that includes the animals, the crops, the fact that most of our food is corn. It's made out of some arrangement of the corn chemicals or DNA. So, I think it's a cycle that I don't really see much of a positive for, just because of what we're doing outside of our bodies to the land.
And like London, which doesn't get the smog that it used to, they've done an adaptation and still able to live in the city. And there's so many little tiny parks in London, and everybody's got something growing in the backyard. And that's what I mean by adaptation. They did not have to move out of the city, but they did the best they could with adapting. So life isn't perfect on this planet, so I think we have to take a look at how we can adapt to anything and do our best at that. Plus, try to not forget to create the positive changes so we don't have the problem in the first place.
Yeah, the revolution is one of intelligence. I think it's going to be about intelligence, love. How we can get there is going to be difficult. I really don't know what it's going to look like yet. I only have my part in this. But it definitely starts with accepting this system that we are in as for what it is, and then attempting to change it.